US pushes nuclear submarines closer to China's maritime backyard, turning Australia's HMAS Stirling into a frontline staging post for undersea patrols off key Indo-Pacific sea lanes. Washington readies a new nuclear sub-squadron just as China's Navy surges across the Pacific, signaling a long-term contest for control of the deep waters beneath Asia's main trade routes. The anti-China bloc tightens its undersea war hub while she launches deep-sea operations, escalating the struggle to track and threaten each other's submarines below the surface. China's Type 095 and follow-on boats now challenge U.S. undersea dominance in the Asia-Pacific, forcing America and its allies to expand basing, patrols and surveillance to stay ahead. The U.S. Navy has established a new Submarine Squadron 3 at Australia's HMAS Stirling base, creating a dedicated command to manage American attack submarines operating from Western Australia. Beginning in 2027, this squadron will support U.S. attack submarines rotating through Australia, providing maintenance, logistics and command oversight for boats forward-based in the region. The move is intended to boost U.S. deterrence, agility and rapid response capacity across the Indo-Pacific, allowing submarines to react more quickly to crises without returning to U.S. home ports. With this change, HMAS Stirling will become a key forward hub for Indo-Pacific submarine operations, anchoring a growing network of undersea assets in the Southern Hemisphere. The base is located close to vital sea lanes that link the Indian and Pacific Oceans, giving submarines quick access to major shipping routes and key maritime choke points. Australia is investing up to $8 billion to expand facilities at HMAS Stirling, upgrading docks, support infrastructure and security to host more and larger submarines. Under the AUKUS Pact, both US and British nuclear-powered submarines will deploy from the base, making it a shared hub for Allied undersea forces. A major mission of the new squadron will be tracking Chinese, Russian and North Korean submarines, enhancing Allied awareness of potential adversary movements under the sea. Strategic targets for surveillance and deterrence include China's next-generation Type 096 ballistic missile submarines, which are expected to carry advanced nuclear-armed missiles. Submarines based in Australia may also support special forces operations and sea denial missions, using stealth to insert teams or block hostile naval movements in contested waters. This deployment fits into the U.S. Navy's broader military pivot toward Asia, shifting more high-end assets into the Indo-Pacific to counter rising regional threats. As part of that shift, Washington permanently deployed a Virginia-class attack submarine to Guam in 2024, strengthening its forward undersea presence in the Western Pacific. Virginia-class submarines form the backbone of America's undersea strike fleet, capable of launching cruise missiles, deploying special forces and conducting intelligence gathering. The creation of Submarine Squadron 3 at HMAS Stirling reflects intensifying U.S.-China rivalry beneath the Pacific, as both sides expand and modernize their submarine forces to gain an undersea edge. On June 12, China issued a striking public alert about rival spy missions, warning that foreign intelligence services are intensifying their efforts to monitor Chinese waters and naval movements through unconventional means. China's Ministry of State Security claimed that overseas spy agencies are deploying so-called spy turtles and fish, marine animals equipped with hidden devices, to infiltrate Chinese waters and quietly snoop on Beijing's maritime environment and military footprint. These claims were laid out in detail in a post on China's popular WeChat social media platform, where the ministry used accessible language and graphics to warn ordinary citizens about alleged foreign spying along the country's vast coastline. According to the ministry, overseas spy agencies have been stealing sensitive maritime data for years using new types of equipment, suggesting a shift from classic human espionage to high-tech and automated tools hidden in the oceans. Beijing alleges that large living marine animals are being deliberately fitted with sophisticated sensors and directed to swim through specific areas, effectively turning them into mobile platforms that can slip into strategic zones without drawing attention. Chinese officials say these modified animals collect critical ocean data, from salinity and temperature to acoustic signatures, and then transmit the information back to overseas satellites, feeding foreign militaries with real-time intelligence on Chinese waters. However, the ministry did not provide concrete details on where these animals were discovered or which countries were allegedly behind these operations, leaving observers to speculate about the true scale and origin of the threat. Beyond marine animals, China says foreign agencies are also deploying unmanned detection buoys and wave gliders, floating or semi-submerged devices, designed to quietly monitor ship movements, underwater terrain, and other naval activity. The security post added that foreign spy agencies have been trying for years to systematically analyze Chinese naval activities, building long-term data sets to understand patrol patterns, submarine routes, and the deployment of key maritime assets. According to the ministry, these efforts are part of a broader push to create detailed underwater maps of China's coastline and nearby waters, maps that could be used one day to guide submarines, undersea drones, or special forces into Chinese littorals. In response, authorities urged marine researchers, fishermen, and vessel owners to immediately report any suspicious devices or unusual marine equipment they encounter, effectively enlisting civilians into a nationwide counter-espionage watch at sea. Earlier reports highlighted that China has already rewarded local anglers who turned in alleged spy devices they pulled from the water, using cash payouts and publicity to encourage others to hand over anything that looks remotely like foreign equipment. According to one such report, some fishermen received rewards of around $73,000 for their cooperation, underlining how seriously Beijing takes these fines and how far it is willing to go to incentivize public participation. Notably, these new accusations surfaced just as China was conducting intensive seabed mapping near Taiwan, raising concerns that the data could be used to support future military operations, from submarine deployments to blockade or invasion scenarios. China completed a seabed survey east of Taiwan in a move that many observers viewed as carrying potential military significance. According to Chinese state media, the survey helped fill key gaps in Beijing's hydrographic and seabed data across the region. China's maritime authorities conducted the mission during a 5-day law enforcement operation in waters east of Taiwan. Multiple Chinese agencies took part in the operation, including the Coast Guard and maritime safety authorities. The survey marked China's first publicly known effort to map these waters in such extensive detail. The move extended Beijing's operational presence into a region long regarded as strategically sensitive by Taipei. The operation came as Japan and the Philippines advanced maritime boundary discussions in waters east of Taiwan. Zhu Songling said, and I quote, "This part of the sea was relatively peaceful before, and China hadn't really said anything or conducted normalized patrols. It's dangerous because it uses border talk to create legal documents. Then they will use the so-called joint management of maritime areas to establish facts on the ground. After that, they invoke freedom of navigation, maritime security, and collective defense to introduce a military presence. So, China's law enforcement advancing into waters east of Taiwan is to cut off that chain of effort by the US, Japan, and the Philippines." Unquote. Analysts said the survey provided China with a far more detailed understanding of the undersea terrain east of Taiwan. An expert told the South China Morning Post that such hydrographic data could support more effective submarine operations.